Perfect.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Jenny here. Today I have a guest. She is a fellow Feng Shui consultant for Blue Mountain Feng Shui. This is Melissa Ortiz. Morning, Melissa. Thank you for coming
Hi,
on.
Jenny.
How are you?
Hi. I'm super happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, I'm super excited to be interviewing you.
Yeah.
This is great. This is great. So, Melissa, tell us where you are now. Where are you?
Yes, I currently live in Michigan, Kalamazoo, Michigan, to be more specific. I moved here about 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, so Melissa is a fellow feng shui consultant. So I thought I'd ask her a bunch of questions on she runs her own business and how feng shui has influenced her life and her business. But let's get to know a little bit about Melissa.
Yeah,
Yeah, so can
sure.
you tell us about
Um,
your
yes,
family and
yes,
your
absolutely.
background? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, if you notice, I have a little bit of an accent. So that is because I'm a Puerto Rican. So I was born and raised in Puerto Rico,
Okay.
and my background is mechanical engineering.
Oh,
And I started my, working for different companies, especially technology and medical device down in
oh,
Puerto Rico. And but for my last company, I spent probably maybe 21 years. So I have a total of 25 years of experience.
wow.
And this last company, I was able to get I'm blessed to move out of different places for work. I started in Puerto Rico, and then after a few years of doing different roles within supply chain operations and engineering, I moved into San Jose, California, which I loved,
Oh,
and I lived there for about in the Bay Area for about 4 years,
I see.
and then in 2010 I moved to China. I lived in
Wow.
China for about 6 years in Suzhou, in the Jiangxi province. We had a facility there. We set up a new facility, Greenfield medical device company there.
Wow.
And after 6 years, that's when we decided to move back to U.S. And we located in Michigan again, with the same company.
Wow. What a story. What a
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
So tell me a little
So
bit about your
I've always,
family too.
I'm sorry.
Your family. Are you
Yes,
married?
so I was going to go there. So yes, so my husband, he is also a mechanical engineer,
Oh,
and we met in university, and we graduated together. Actually, we started in different companies, and then after I joined this company, this medical device at the end, in 1997, he also joined the same company. So we actually worked for the same company over 20 years. So that's why it was very easy for us to make the different relocations,
I
just because both were working for the same company. So I
I
have a 22-year-old boy, only
nice.
one son,
Nice.
and he just graduated from Michigan State, and he got into his grad school now, and human resources.
Congratulations. Is he
Mhm.
a mechanical engineer too?
No, human resources. He said with two parents that are technical, like he is all pro people. Like he is, like he wanted to go into psychology, and now he decided that human resources was an area that he would love to do. And he speaks three languages, so Spanish,
Wow. So what
English
does he
and
speak?
Mandarin.
Wow. That's
Mhm.
terrific. How exciting.
Yeah,
That's really exciting. So, it's
it's
very
fun.
unusual to have, a Western family and with your experience, Suzo. How can you tell us a little bit about your experience?
My experience in China,
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. I mean, I've never been to
it
China.
is, it is, and honestly, all this started when um, since I was very little, like I really was fascinated by the Chinese culture and all overall Asian culture,
I
right?
see.
And that's how I got interested in feng shui in the first place.
I see.
My first trip to China was in 2003, actually 7 years before I actually moved to China, and it was with Dr. Su. It was one of our
Oh,
feng shui trips.
okay.
And
Before we go there, then I guess I have to go back to how you started feng shui.
yes, I actually started feng shui in 2001, and it was just like everybody starts feng shui right now. I started reading books. I think I picked a very small little feng shui for dummies book in an airport
Oh, was it in
bookstore.
English or was it in Spanish?
It was in English, and it was just like, for me it was a curiosity thing, and it was in one of my business trips, and I said, like, let me just look at this.
Ah.
And I started reading it, and as an engineer, like, I really wanted to prove them wrong and figure it out, like, this maybe it's not true, right? So then, but I got interested, like, it really sparked my curiosity.
I
And
see.
after that, then I started reading books. I buying all these books on feng shui. And then I got so confused. I think after a year of reading different books that will start contradicting themselves, I said, like, what's this? In during that same time that I was going through that confusion, and I found this Feng Shui for Beginners training or class in Puerto Rico, and I decided to attend. And it was with one of Dr. Su's certified consultant students, and he was from Puerto Rico. And actually, I found out that he was also a mechanical engineer. And that's when I say, you know what, this is a signal. I need to attend to this class and then just go there and ask all these questions that I have. And that's how I got introduced to Blue Mountain and the Form School. And I fell in love with it after that first class. And I continue taking courses with Carlos. And then that's how I met Dr. Su, because he had, Chantan Su, he had Master Su, he had courses that were a little bit more complex that maybe Carlos could not teach. So then he would bring Master Su to Puerto Rico for our courses. And that's how I met him. And then I got certified, I think it was in 2003. And that's when we finished, we did our feng shui trip to China. Fascinated with it. And after that trip, I said, you know what, I am moving to China one day. I want to work here and I want to live here for a while.
Interesting. How interesting. And then why do you think you resonate with the Asian culture?
Honestly, I don't know. I think it's because I'm very sensitive to energy.
Oh.
And I'm very sensitive to, like, the perception of energy, right? Like, I really love that. And I really found an explanation with that. And I just feel like with China, you get everything. You get the years and years and years of culture,
Yes,
and that rich history. But at the same time, you get all this modern and progress and advances in technology. Like, it's just fascinating. And I think that's why I always resonate with the Oriental culture.
I'm sorry, I forgot to turn off my phone. How embarrassing.
No worries. You reminded mine too. Let me just make sure that I'm doing this.
Sorry about that. But oh my goodness, that's really fascinating how you kind of cross cultures and found feng shui and, kind of, so when you went to China, now I can go back to that question, how did you find China coming from, Puerto Rico and the United States?
Yes, very, very different. My biggest lesson, I would say, during my time in China is that when something is different, doesn't mean that it's wrong. Mm-hmm. And what I loved about everything that I found different, I will ask why. And there was always an explanation, right? Like, if I see something that I will not do or I don't understand, I will ask my Chinese friends to say, okay, can you tell me about this? What is the context? Why people will do this, or why will you do that? And there was always a good explanation. Yes, I have an example. So So when I was in China, I was plant manager, right? I was managing a manufacturing plant.
Oh,
It
I
was a
see.
new plant, and we
How
were
many
expanding.
people in the plant?
About 320 people in
Oh,
total. Well, when I got there, we were about 100,
I
and then it
see.
grew up to 320
Wow.
in 6 years. Yeah.
Wow.
And so we were expanding our warehouse, and because of that expansion, we needed to create additional restrooms because we didn't want it, like, the employees to come all the way to one side of the building
I see.
to to go to the restroom, and we wanted to maintain that efficiency. That building, it was a beautiful building in terms of, like, it was built LEED certified, gold LEED certified. That means leader in energy and environmental
Right.
design.
LEED certified, what they would call in America. Yeah.
Yes, because we wanted to prove like we were in China for the right reasons, right? We didn't want it to go in the, going in the cheap route. Like, we wanted to make things with good quality in a medical device building with providing the best environment to our employees, right? So it was a Western design type of building.
Right.
Let's put it that way, right? Like our offices, our bathrooms, everything was very Western. You could not tell that you were necessarily
I see. We're here or something.
Exactly. Unless, until you go into the canteen, which, like, the food was amazing, but it was Chinese food.
And the people are Chinese.
Exactly. And then, so we needed to expand the restroom. So I have this, our operations director coming, he needed to discuss something very critical with me, and he set up an appointment, and he explained the different drawings and the plans for the expansion and where we were going to locate the restrooms and all that. And I said, well, everything looks perfect, like we discussed last week. What's going on? What is the difference? He said, because we want to make these restrooms Chinese style, like squatting style instead of the Western style, seating style. So he really wanted my approval to go into, like, the Chinese style, because all the restrooms were Western style, okay, in the facility. And I said, no way, we will not do that, because it's really hard to keep them clean. We need to evolve. We need to feel like we are, we need to evolve. Like, it's better to keep them clean. It's more hygienic for them. So I explained all the reasons why not. And he said to me, boss, precisely, like, we feel that sitting down in a toilet is not hygienic at all. And that's why we need the squatting toilets. And honestly, that was a really, like, oh my gosh, like, aha moment for me, understanding why squatting toilets were important for them. And yeah, that answer was, like, all I needed to know to say, let's go ahead. We need to do that if they need it, and that's the reason. And yeah, we need to do that. So that was one of the reasons. So that's just one example, but sometimes things that we don't understand and we think that that's so, like, old or outdated, or there's, like, needs to be evolved. It's not evolution what is holding them back. There is a better reason, and so we need to understand that. So that was my biggest takeaway from Chinese culture, is just, like, we do need to understand and ask questions, and what is different doesn't mean wrong.
Yeah, I think that's that's a great story. I think it's kind of like the yin yang. There's always two sides to the coin, how we see it, and we assume that everybody thinks like us, when in reality, that's not true at all, and it's great that you're really open to, listening. I think that's a great, quality that you have, that you're opening to listening to their side of the story, and why they wanted what they wanted. I think that's a great question.
And the same thing with food and everything. So it was a journey. We loved it. We spent there 6 years. So you can tell, if we would not have loved it, we would have probably returned earlier, and we didn't. So
what was your favorite food?
Everything. I need to say, like, anything spicy I love, but also, I the different soups I love, the noodles I love. But honestly, what I miss the most would
Yeah.
be like the good tea.
The what? The what? Tea.
And tea, the good tea, good quality tea.
So what kind of,
And
do you drink pu'er, or do you drink green? What do you, oolong?
yeah, oolong, it was like normal. Yeah, it was mostly the green tea and the white tea also was super nice. Yeah. And don't kill me, but chicken feet.
Oh, you like chicken feet? Oh, good for you, man.
I learned to eat it, and yeah, I learned to eat it, and then I cannot. Yeah, so yeah, I learned to eat a lot of things there, but.
Yeah, I'm sure, because they eat anything.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. I like the.
We do too. Like in America, it's just like we put it in hot dogs and burgers. That's the difference, right? Like that's what I understand, right? So
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I do miss the food a lot.
I see. Do you get good Chinese in Michigan?
Yes, there are, and actually, there was one of my leaders that I recruited there. She actually accepted a job here, so she is an expat, and then she accepted a job in the same company.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
How exciting. Okay.
But honestly, there is not good Chinese food here. Like, at least I have not found. If someone finds it, like, put it in the comments. Kalamazoo, Michigan, good Chinese food. But I have not found one.
Kalamazoo. Anybody there? Please put it in the comments. Okay.
Yeah, please.
I wanted to. Now I understand that you have your own business, and the name of your business is Power Consulting, and you do leadership and energy management training and coaching. Is that right?
Yes. So last year around the fall, I decided to start my own business. So after 21 years in the company, there was a good opportunity. I think a lot of good things happen at the same time, and there was a good opportunity for me to start realizing this dream that I had. A year ago, I got certified with the John Maxwell organization as a speaker, training, and coach in leadership, and I love it. My favorite part of my job was to develop other leaders, and I love
what you do.
see
So you
people
develop
grow.
other leaders. That's your business.
Yes. So now, but then my business is more, my niche is more on professional women that really want to achieve, have bold career ambitions, but at the same time, they don't want to sacrifice, or they are afraid to sacrifice lifestyle and family and health. And we have seen that, like, people trade off. Sometimes they decide, well, health is more important, then I need to like stop my career aspirations, or they trade off all the good habits for health to continue pursuing career aspirations. So, and then we see, like, at the end, they end up burned down. Yes. And so then to me, it touched me like in different areas, and even myself, when I came back from China, I was 70 pounds heavier than what I am right now.
Hard to believe, yeah? Hard to believe.
And I made a decision.
Was it because of the stress?
Yeah, and the lifestyle, right? Like, I was not necessarily, it was, I love to travel, I love to eat, and different, in China, to eat, to do business, and to celebrate, and to do everything you do at eating, right? And I didn't have a structure. Culture. Yeah. I didn't know anything about nutrition. So, and then I was not exercising because I was working from 5 in the morning to midnight sometimes because of the time zones. Yeah, time zones. So I needed to have conference calls with the US, Europe, and then running the plant during the day.
Wow.
So there was a lot.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's when I realized that I needed to do something because my energy level was not where I wanted to be. I had a lot of energy in the morning for my work, and then no energy at night or in the afternoon when I was coming back to my family. So I didn't know where to start until I found more information, and then I got into this lifestyle journey, and it changed my life. And that's when I said, well, I think it's time to start teaching other people, especially women leaders, to do this as well and continue to grow and achieve their dreams, right?
So
So
how
then
long
now
did
I
it
started
take
this
you,
company.
to transform your life like that?
It took me about a year, I would
Oh,
say. Yeah, it's been 3 years since that happened.
I see.
So
Years ago.
yeah, but it took me about a year to lose all those pounds and to really
So,
create the right habits and to enjoy the process.
so did losing the pounds affect your energy level, mental clarity? How did it change you?
Oh yeah, it changed completely. Like the amount of energy that it helped me, the amount of energy that I have right now, from 4 in the morning. I wake
Oh,
up every day at 4:15.
you
Yes,
wake up at
and
4.
I have energy, and then I go to bed like around 10:30, and
Wonderful.
I love it. That is one thing. The second thing is that when you feel healthy and you think more clearly, you are more efficient, effective. You are not moody, and then you are a little bit more, caring and kind to family members and also co-workers or customers, right? So it
Right.
has, definitely affected
That's
my whole
really
life.
true. I think what you said just now is when you have more energy, you have more time for yourself, then you have more time for other people.
Yes,
It's kind of a mirror effect. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So I know for a lot of people, they don't know Blue Mountain Feng Shui. Most of the Feng Shui that most people know is through the bagua or through, putting gadgets here and there. And a lot of it is astrology. Uh, we don't use that in Blue Mountain Feng Shui. And so
Mhm.
what did you think about it when you first went to class?
So it makes sense for me when they explain, the form school and what it was and what it was not.
Mhm.
So I was able to throw away a lot of the little trinkets and gadgets and stuff that were not important. And what I love about the form school is it's simple.
Mhm.
It's a traditional method. It's something that once you learn, you can teach others. Every time that I go and do a consultation for one of my friends or even for myself, like I try to teach something to people that they can apply themselves without like complex numbers and stuff.
Right.
Like it needs to be something that makes it's common sense, and that's
Yeah.
what I love about this school. Like it's just everything that you learn is common sense.
Yeah.
It is the natural, understanding the natural laws and how the energy manifests, right? Once you understand that, then you can apply it to anything. And that's what I love about it. Like you can apply it to the different scales, like to the country, city level, all the way down to your office or bedroom, right? And it's scalable. The concept is just easy to apply.
So how does it help you? Does it help you guide you in your business decisions or things like that?
Oh, well, my husband will say yes, because we have moved 6 times and every time it's a process to select the right place. Um, yes, it has helped tremendously. And I think that was the biggest thing for me as a mechanical engineer, that I wanted to prove this wrong. And seeing the patterns, finding the explanations, right? Like validating those concepts with my life, my business, and my family, and everything that was around me was critical. So once I started validating that and making little changes, it affects everything. I have moved 6 times, like
Wow.
6 different houses.
Wow.
And now I'm about to build my own house in
Oh,
the lake.
how exciting! You got to make it function friendly.
Yes, I have to. Probably maybe we should like share some of the plans here with the group and then get some ideas going. But yes, I'm about to do that. I'm finishing up the plans right now. So, but I have moved 6 times. So every time that I move, I have to keep that in mind. The other thing is that there is not a perfect feng shui place, right?
Absolutely.
But you need to make sure that your priorities are taken care of. And I think that was my biggest takeaway and understanding from Master Sue is, you need to understand who you are, where you're going, and what is the biggest pain right now that you want addressed, and make sure that then you address that. You are not going to, everything is not going to be perfect. So sometimes when I see people asking me about using this mirror here, or putting this little figure there, or this fountain there, like small fountain or water feature, and then I say, sometimes you need to start with the bigger picture.
Yes.
It is, I explain them, it's like you get invited to a formal event,
mm-hmm.
and you pick your most expensive earrings, mm-hmm. diamond earrings, and you put them on. Okay, this is for a women. Like men, I don't know, like
cufflinks.
But you pick your most expensive diamond earrings, you put it on, and then you are riding shorts and a casual top. Like it's a formal dress, it's a ball, it's a formal
event.
And you just look for your diamond earrings that will make you look,
because you want to wear them.
More pretty. Yeah, because you think that is expensive and it's going to be appropriate for a formal activity. But mm-hmm. then you are missing the big picture. Like formal is your whole attire first. It doesn't matter if you have the diamond earrings or not. So that's how I sometimes explain people. It's just don't worry about those little things, because those are very little in comparison with the bigger picture that you are after.
I love it. Yeah, it helps people to see that, we got to look at the big picture. And I think that's what Dr. Zhu, always emphasizes,
Absolutely.
Think of the big picture. Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about how you help people in your business.
So in my business right now, I have the big business, which is the leadership and wellness. So we started with coaching, individual coaching and group coaching.
I see.
Sessions, and I have a few of clients like that. But then as I was about to launch my on-site workshops, that's when COVID hit it. So what I've been doing during this whole time is transforming all my workshops into digital and webinars and digital courses. So we can then move there. So right now I'm just working mostly one-on-one and group coaching for women leaders, but then in the future we will expand a little bit more with webinars and support groups and online digital courses too as well.
Well, that's great, because if you can do it online, then you can actually reach more people.
Yes, exactly. So then what we look is into, okay, what are the areas that they need the most help? If it's leadership influence, if it's confidence, if it's trust, right? Or team development, connection, communication. I understand what is that first. Then we look at, what are some, how is their lifestyle, like how balanced they are, because it's important that you are not only achieving your professional goals, but also your lifestyle and your family relationship goals as well. So we do that assessment first, and then we go through different sessions, just making sure that the area of need gets addressed from the career side, so they can achieve those their results, but at the same time understanding their well-being. How is the energy? That's why I call it energy management. How is that emotional energy at home or at work? How is that physical energy? How are they recharging, right? To make sure that they have all that physical energy as well, and the spiritual energy. So all that gets combined in order for, to help women achieve their goals, but at the same time, not having to do trade-offs with their health. And like we see.
I think it's very true that women in general, we put a lot on our plate, we expect, we have to take care of our families, and you want to have a career goal too, and I mean, it's very difficult. And I think people put really high expectations on themselves. So there's a lot of guilt, and if we don't do it right, and I think it's
Exactly. And that's what I've seen, as a global leader. I had, my team was based in Amsterdam. I had really successful teams. We
wow.
we receive a lot of really great training, leadership training. There are many leadership trainings out there that are really good, but I think what we are missing is the need for a woman in leadership roles that wants to continue growing into the C-suite, like CEO roles or vice president roles, because there is a need of a support group that we don't have necessarily, like when you compare to the support group that a man will have with their family and their spouses and all that. So that means that we have a specific needs, and we prioritize differently. That's a reality. We prioritize everyone before us too, right? So then it's not the amount of things in our plate. I think we can take more than anyone, and we have proven that, is the fact that we are not prioritizing correctly, and that is that is consuming way more energy, and you are not as efficient because you are not recharging enough. So then that's why I want to address some of those specific challenges that females in leadership roles are struggling with.
I think I totally agree with you, how men and women were different. We're just wired different.
Yeah, we are different. Yeah.
Yeah. And to first acknowledge that, even if you're doing maybe the same role in the office, how we are fundamentally is different. So how we react and how we assess things.
Emotionally, and exactly. It's all different. Yeah.
I think that's great. That's why they say, in a design company, it's good to have all levels of ages, because we see it from a different way. If everybody's young in the office, you're only going to get a certain input.
Point of view.
Yeah. And when you have different age groups, and then you get all different perspectives, which makes it a more holistic kind of design to satisfy everybody. How do you find that in your leadership? I mean, what do you think needs to be added to make your life more whole? What can help you? Is like meditation or
I would say that I have added so many new little things, but consistently in the last 3 years, that I would say, it's been amazing. Meditation is one, but mostly my morning routine. I think starting your mornings without the hustle of checking emails right away, or having to, just run and wake up kids and right away, like just trying to figure out how to block at least an hour of time so you can recharge, get all you need, like reading a personal development book, making sure that you're journaling, that you're putting your ideas into paper, so then you can start manifesting some of those. That has been a key change, for my leadership style, because I definitely go into the day with a way more, more clear goal that I want to achieve.
Well, I started, I'm journaling here and then journaling there. It's very hard to be consistent. Do you find that?
Hard. Super hard. And even reading at the beginning for me, it was super hard. But I started with very small chunks of time. So journaling for me, it's just about one page, and I just talk about things that I'm grateful for, from the last 24 hours, and then what are some of the goals that I'm working on right now and how I see them manifesting, like, what I'm after, and what is that one thing that I want to do first. So I followed the Start Today, Rachel Hollis format, because it works for me, and it can be done in just 10 minutes. And that has been super useful. And then from there, I've been able to add a little bit more into some of the courses that I'm writing, and some of those, that stuff. But it's because I started with very small steps. So I think if you want to do even meditation, like people say, oh, I cannot sit down still for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Just start with 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And 5 minutes is enough, and you will love it so much that then you will add maybe 2 more minutes, and then you will make it 7, and then you will make it 10. And that's enough.
Yeah. I think that's a great suggestion. As you say, it's hard to sit still if you haven't sat still for a long time to meditate. I started too with, slowly. So now I meditate 10 minutes. It's not much, but it was funny, because I didn't do it for like 3 days in a row because I was busy in the morning, and I thought, I needed to do more things. So I thought, I'm not going to meditate this morning. Those
you
3
can
days.
feel it, right?
Oh my God, I was so unorganized. My brain wasn't right, and it didn't have a good day. It's really weird. And I thought, I wonder if it was a 10-minute meditation, that I didn't do that messed me up. Do you find that?
Yes, exactly. So then how I translate this into Feng Shui is what Master Shui says, right? Like every time that we do stuff, we are giving energy out to people, right? To our friends, to our company, to our work, to our colleagues, to our family, to our kids. Like we are constantly giving energy out, but we are never recharging that energy. So we always take care of the yang aspect of giving, but we are not looking at, how you're bringing that energy back and creating that balance. And you do that with a good sleep and with a good morning routine, so then you can get your mindset and your physical body in the right place. That's why I also work out every day, 30 minutes as well.
Terrific. I mean, that's great advice to, set your morning right, and then the rest of your day will be good. Yeah. I mean, I say 10 minutes. I don't know how long you meditate. Do you?
10 minutes. Yeah. And that was just recently, like it was only 5 until maybe 2 months ago. And it was like, I think I can increase this a little bit more. Let me see. And then I started doing a little bit more, but just 10 minutes.
Yeah. Because,
because if not, my mind goes wanders.
He tells me, how long he meditates?
Oh, yeah. I can never. Yeah. It's going to be hard for me. But,
2 hours. 2 hours. I said, 2 hours. He said, well, yeah, like it's nothing, And I said, you should have been a monk.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how he can do that, I don't think I could sit there for 2 hours. I just don't think I could. Yeah. But did you know he trained as a monk?
Yes. And the thing is that, it's like, that's a muscle, right? Like, it's like a muscle. You have to train it, and then you will continue to develop and evolve it. Like right now we are at 10, but I think maybe by the end of the year, we can say, well, like, let's try 15. And I think 15 is still a good number, to get your mind in the right place.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's good to keep stretching a little bit. But I think it's hard, I think what I found was, I added something, and then I thought, okay, I can do this. I did my 10 minutes. And then I could say, well, maybe I can add, and now I do some eye exercises because I think I'm watching the monitor too much, and it makes my eyes really tired. So I do some exercises like looking up and looking down, and then this way and this way. And in the beginning, it really hurt. It sounds really funny, but my eyes hurt. I think it's because I didn't use those muscles. I was just always forward. So I was looking up and I wasn't looking this way, in different ways. So I think my muscles were weak. My eye muscles were weak. So it's been maybe about 3 months now. And my eye muscles, I feel, are a lot stronger.
Yeah, you don't feel the pain anymore. That happens with any muscle, right? Exercise. That's what I tell my customers too. Like when they complain about how much it hurts to exercise, and I say, just keep doing it. You will see, like your muscles will start responding, and you will not hurt.
Yeah, that's anymore. Great. That's great. Oh, thanks so much, Melissa. I mean, we shared so much of your insight, and you have so much experience in business, and you've traveled the world. What would be your advice to people on how to, Well, I know you mentioned about, having the right morning to set up your day for more energy in your life. What would be one more tip that you can give them that maybe will help them?
So if I look at your audience here in, Feng Shui for new homeowners, right, and interiors too, like if
Right.
I also, just to try to give some value to this audience too,
Yeah.
I will say, I will explain just a little bit like how every time I start moving, from a house to a different house or to a different place,
Mm-hmm.
I don't go crazy, right? Like I know the concepts and, the concept that we learned from like the Blue Mountain Feng Shui Institute. But also I'm very clear with my priorities.
Right.
So it is important that, you don't necessarily focus on one room or one area if your priority is in a different place. So that's why I think when a consultant like, you, or it comes very handy because you can help them understand, okay, is your priority your relationships? Is your priority your career right now? What is your biggest problem that you want to solve? Like all those things are super important. So every time that I will go to a new place, I know the important rooms for me, right? Like that it cannot have a flaw there. I can have flaws different places, but not there. And to me, the kitchen is most important. One of the most important rooms, I would say.
For your family, yeah.
Yes. So the kitchen is it's key for me. Then the next one will be, living room and then bedroom. And then just because I want to prioritize, relationship, family, career, and health, right? So you need to make sure that, okay, what are the areas that you want to protect? And if there's any area that you want to fix, and then make sure that you're asking the right questions.
Yeah, I think that's great.
You get the right guidance, exactly.
Right. I think priorities is a big issue. I just did a feng shui consultation for a couple, and their first priority, they told me, was their children's education. So they chose an area that had a really good schools. And because I said, that's great, because the important thing about that is those children will become friends with the children in the neighborhood. So if you're going to a school district with a good school, all the parents in the neighborhood have the same kind of idea that, yeah, we want our kids to have a good
it resonates. It resonates exactly.
It's all that resonating energy, Yeah, so exactly. Prioritizing is an excellent way to start. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Melissa. I'm so happy that you came on my first interview call like this.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for inviting. I cannot believe, like, we met about 5 years ago, maybe, and then we reconnected thanks to Facebook and then this group. So I'm super happy to reconnect with you.
Yeah, I tell everybody, Melissa came to Seattle for Dr. Zhu's class, and that's where we actually met in Bellevue. Yeah, so I've seen you in person, and I met you in person.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's great to reconnect, and I want more feng shui consultants to reconnect, and we can build this energy together, and we can lift everybody up to what's important for everybody, and what can help people to live a more fulfilled life. It's not just about happy; it's about being fulfilled.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Melissa, where can people find you in your business?
So right now I'm finalizing my website because I have to redo the whole thing. But I have a Facebook page under Source of Power, and Instagram as well, Source of Power Leadership. So those two places, and then I can just put my email address maybe under this live, so then people can, if they have questions or anything, they can. They
put
can find
something, where they can contact you if they want more information, especially those women who, need some leadership guidance on how to integrate, a more balanced kind of lifestyle. I think that's wonderful. I think you're doing a great job for women, So thanks so much, and wish you all the success. And hey, when you get your new house, you know, we want to see
Yes,
it.
I need to start like, yeah, getting some of the house plants here just for the group so we can have a good fun,
Yeah, that'd
maybe
be great.
workshop, virtual workshop.
That'd be great. Okay, well, thanks so much, Melissa. Wish
Thank
you
you,
lots
Jenny. Bye bye,
of
everyone.
success.
Yeah.
Bye, bye, everybody, and thanks for watching.